Hey everyone, this is Evan with Johnson Plastics Plus, and I'm here with
Courtney from Johnson Plastics Plus.
And today we have some exciting stuff to share with you. In front of us are some really exciting materials to create unique gifts using your laser. So we've got a lot of focus on engraving today that we're going to share with you. Got a couple housekeeping items to start out with first, as always. So first on our slide there, you should be able to see how to select your audio source, how to collapse and expand that part of the menu. Should you have any issues with your audio, you can also dial into the meeting that way as well, which would typically clear up any issues with that.
And if so, folks, if you have some issues with your audio and the video, just give the webinar a restart real quick. You can hop right back in, and sometimes that clears up the issue.
Appreciate it, George. Okay, and as usual, we usually have some poll questions because we like to understand who we have joining us, what kind of things we need to focus on, and make sure that we cover. So we got a couple poll questions today. So the first one is going to be, what type of laser engraver / cutter / printer are you currently using?
That's a great question.
That's a good question. All right. So if you want to go ahead and put your results in there, we've got a couple choices: small format like a Glowforge, full spectrum, full size laser, things like Epilog, Universal. 3 don't have, or also don't have a laser yet, but are interested in knowing more about laser engraving. Looks like we have a lot of laser powerhouses in the meeting today. That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome, and it's good to see a significant amount of folks with the hobby size lasers too, because the cool thing is you can work with any of this material in front of it too. You don't have to have a giant laser to do it. You can work with more material on the bigger laser, but everything we're going to show you today will work just fine on your Glowforge, full spectrum, BMO, any of those types of units. I think we have one last poll question. Now that those results are in. Oh, there were 2 more. Okay, thank you. Do you own or use multiple types of decorating equipment, such as both laser and sublimation? So looking specifically for people that have more than one decorating technology at their disposal. Yes or no?
Perfect time of year to have both. Your own ornaments, sublimate those ornaments.
100% agree with that. Combining those two things together just makes your available projects that much better. So cool. And it looks like a significant portion of folks do have more than one, which is cool. I think we have one last question.
Oh, this is a fun question.
All right, this is a fun question. George's always got some fun questions. So Ted Lasso, great TV show or no-go?
The question should be, this is Apple TV, right?
I think so.
Apple TV, okay.
So I'm going to be actually in the what's Ted Lasso category. I've heard conversation about it.
Oh, I know.
I have not seen it. So it looks like I'm in good company today. So.
But a good amount of people have said heck yes.
Yeah, definitely. That's true.
It is an Emmy Award-winning show, just so you know.
I will make sure to add it to the beginning of my watch later, George. I appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, for participating in those questions. We do like to have a little bit of fun with those after we, figure out what everyone's using and working with. So I think we'll dive right in. I'm going to let Courtney start off because I think Courtney has some of. Oh, do we want to talk about the screens?
Let's talk
about the screens. Screens are important so that you can see what we're doing. So you should have a diagram there. You can actually enlarge the presenter screen or the keynote slide screen, so you can kind of move back and forth between those. If you're having a little bit of trouble seeing what what we've got in front of us here or the slide, you can move back.
And a friendly reminder, if you're on a mobile device or an iPad, we will be using a second camera today to do some close-ups. If you don't see that second camera, you can swipe up and down. That'll flip between the 2 cameras. So.
Super.
Awesome.
Now we're done.
All right, we're
Now
through
we're
housekeeping.
done.
I'm really anxious to get started, and I know that Courtney is too. So Courtney, I'll let you kick it off for us. We'll kind of take turns going back.
Of course. Honestly, this is Evan's favorite item, and it's not because it's his favorite color. So we're going to start here with the glitter color hues. This is one of our newer lines by Aromark. So many of you who are currently doing types of signs or small different types of possibly just like numbering or table tents, things like that, probably already know about our color hues line and all of the different colors that we have available. Well, recently we have added 10 colors specifically in the glitter option. So the color we're looking at right now is going to be that rose quartz color, which is, it's a beautiful color, especially when we're talking about thinking of wedding options. So going back to table tents, seating charts. If you really want to get real fancy, we can also do invitations, save the dates, all great options in there, that glitter line. We do have a few other options here for color. Again, we do have 10 options in color, but this is going to be our ruby. So I don't know if you want to zoom in on there.
Yeah, definitely get a close up of that so that hopefully that sparkle comes through, because this goes all the way. This glitter is actually all the way through the plastic. It is infused in it. It is not a paint. It is not a coating. It is actually infused in the plastic when it's made. It's 1/8 inch thick cell cast material that cuts in beautifully on a laser. And I'm glad you could show that off. And you have a couple other colors, I think, in front of you there too, right?
I do. So we have the diamond here. So we did some cute little trees. So you're going to see that there, that diamond color on top being the silver. And then you're also going to see that jade there on the back, which would be one of the green colors we have available. So that's a really cool print here where we did, you know, happy holiday, and we did a few other little trees there. So it's a great line just to do different types of signage and various things.
Courtney, I had a quick question. Can you show the, I think that was a heat transfer printed one?
Yes, this is
With
a
the number 2, can you show that on the close-up cam there?
course.
We had a couple folks wanted to see that a little closer up. Thank you. Okay.
And
Appreciate it.
all of these colors come in a 1/8 inch option. So that is going to be the thickness on that.
Yep. And 1/8 is nice and is pretty sturdy. You know, it has a nice premium feel to it, not too heavy, but you know, definitely nice and sturdy. So thanks for sharing that. There's been a ton of buzz around that material, and I'm just really happy that we were able to have a few different demo pieces that we can show you, especially going into Christmas. I have no doubt that there's going to be lots of you that are looking to make ornaments and other decorative pieces, maybe some accents to wreaths and things like that. You can, there's a lot of different options for that material. It's some fun stuff. So the next thing, I'll go ahead and take one, and we'll just kind of shift back and forth because we're on the topic of decorating, right? And different you know, gifts that you can make. So I'm going to show off another Romark product here. And I have 2 pieces in front of me. This is the Laser Gloss exterior. This is a 1/16 thick laserable plastic. That exterior in the name, this is a very tough and durable material. This is designed to be outdoors for years. It has a very, very glossy finish. Would you be so kind as to make sure that goes on? Thank you. It has a very glossy finish. It engraves beautifully, and it's designed to handle the abuse of UV light, extreme heat, extreme cold for many, many years. Available in 6 different colors. Again, 1/16 thick. I have the pine green and black gloss here in front of me. There's also a few other colors. There's a bright red, a blue, a yellow, and then white, black, black, white. So that is the Laser Gloss exterior. If you're looking for a very economical option to create some outdoor decor for the holidays, gifts, maybe something to decorate your mailbox, your front door, you've got all kinds of different options there. This is a durable and very affordably priced material that you can make that with.
Someone did have a question if you can fabricate the laser gloss exterior on a smaller format like a Glowforge or the Full Spectrum.
Yes.
And you can, absolutely.
Thank you so much for asking that question, because it's a great question. Yes, this material will fabricate on that. We do have, the only thing you want to be mindful of is sizing. We have several sizes available. So some of the Glowforges, you have that pass-through you might want to take advantage of, just to make it easier to cut the material down to size, but it will absolutely cut and engrave on a Glowforge or similar hobby laser. So that is, I think, what we have on the Laser Gloss exterior line. Oh, I think George has another question.
Yeah, another question on that, the one that you have, the laser gloss exterior, they want to know if that was front engraved or reverse engraved, and that was front engraved.
Correct. Yep, this is a front engraved material. So actually, I'll flip it around so you can see the back. So this is a white core with a green cap, and we'll put it on the close-up camera. We'll show front and back so you can see it as a front engraved material. Pine green is the color on top. Very, very Christmassy. Pine green's a very Christmassy color to me.
And we do have really great tech tips online. So every time we add, this is one of our newer lines by Romart.
Just
We're
came
gonna
out,
have
yeah.
those great tech tips available online.
Yep, absolutely. Courtney, I think you've got a couple other pieces to talk about too. So I'll let you take the next one.
I do. I know Evan's favorite is the glitter just because it's so new and fun, but I love saddle collection. So we have 5 great colors in our saddle sheet. There's just an endless amount of things that you're able to do with this. So 5 colors, great options. This is gonna be our iron gray. So this will come in a 12 by 24 sheet. Which is going to be on one of the smaller ends. So again, if you are doing a smaller size laser, that's going to be great. And then you'll see here, we did a one cool thing with our MDF sign here in our home decor option. We did put right there, we put the leather on top, and then you'll be able to see that each color is going to engrave a different. So if you're doing the black sheet, it's going to be more of a silver. Obviously, this brown's going to go down to a black text, but it just gives you a cool option to not only double up and use different types of aesthetic, but also just a really cool option for a sign.
Yeah, and real quick too, I just want to mention that material is vector. You can vector cut and engrave with a laser, any laser. Okay. So any CO2 laser will cut right through that. It will leave that beautiful marking. For those of you that do have the hobby lasers, one thing we have noticed that does help if you're engraving that material, when you go to clean it, we do often recommend using some tape to actually lift any debris off as opposed to wiping across. That question comes up a lot, so I wanted to drop that in there while we had everyone.
Of course.
A question on the saddle collection, that is a faux leather, correct? But it does, somebody asked if it had like a plasticky feel to it, like kind of like the old Naga hide if you're of a certain age, you'll remember what that is, but this does not, correct?
Very smooth feel, very smooth feel. A lot of people like to, if anyone on here is doing apparel, anyone rewatching, this is great for different types of patches. You can do embroidery, put that on top of a hat, more of a patch on a shirt, but you can also use some adhesive there on the back. So whichever's preferred, but it's a great option again to add a different aesthetic to a piece of apparel.
Yeah, and it has a very similar to leather feel to it. The other thing that I think that is important to note is the level of gloss or sheen to it is very, very close to actual leather. It doesn't, it doesn't feel like a cheap raincoat. It feels very similar to the real thing, and it's a little bit easier to work with than leather and additional color options
Yeah,
too.
it's kind of like a lightweight option. It's very nice and
Absolutely.
lightweight.
Oh, did you want to show the keychain too that they made?
Perfect, yes. And we also have kind of just a few different colors that we have currently in the collection. So we have a few different colors on there, and we have done a leather punch there for a keychain. We do not currently carry those, but you can find them at any local store for that. But this is a cool option to be able to use for
Yeah,
cutting
and
off
that's
from
the
sheet.
chestnut, the bay brown, and buckskin, I think, in
Yes.
that piece, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the saddle collection too. Really versatile. This is your first introduction to it. There's a whole bunch of blanks on our website that are made with that material too. I just wanted to call it out. There's actually a whole
Say
bunch of them here
there's some-
off to my side. So this is your first introduction to saddle collection. We're mostly talking about what you can do with the sheets that we sell, which are extremely economical. But if this is your first time seeing it, there's a lot of blanks on jpplus.com too under the engraving category that you can see that are made with that material. So I think it's my turn. Since we already talked about saddle, I'm going to talk about this LaserBits premium tanned leather that we offer on our website. This is one of those things that hopefully it'll show on camera okay, because yeah, it kind of washed out there.
I can always zoom into.
Yeah, we'll do that in a second. So this is real tanned leather. It engraves very nicely, and we'll go over for a close-up in a second. But I have a small keychain or ornament-sized piece right here showing the engraving. Would you mind putting that on camera real quick? So that is actual leather. So if you want that real leather feel and look, this is another option as well. Think about a lot of different things that you could make: custom gift items, keychains, purse straps, or There's all sorts of different options that you can make out of that material. Again, vector cut and engraving possible with a laser. Very versatile material. So a great option to consider if you want that actual leather. I'll let you
Transition back.
yeah. So actually, I think I have the last
You have
piece.
the last piece.
George has a question first, though. His hand is up.
I do have a question. We had somebody ask about the Color Hues glitter. So before we jump off of that real quick, does that need to be coated with anything before it's engraved? And it's just like any of our other cast acrylic materials, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
I'll call out here real quick too, because I have gotten this question a few times. Most people are vector cutting this, right? I do have some people that have sent me pictures where they had actually done a raster engrave on some of these, and they were very happy with the look. So it might be something to experiment with. No coatings required, cut and raster engrave on the laser. So you may just experiment and see. We've done a lot of cutting it, and I think that's one way it really shines, but there's a lot of flexibility too.
Yeah, still be a good print on there.
I'm going to ask Courtney to take that over to the close-up camera, because I think one of the reason for the question was there's a little bit of misunderstanding. That glitter is in the sheet, correct?
Correct.
So it's not on top. I think some folks thought it might have been a top layer, but that's actually embedded in the sheet.
It is embedded in the sheet. So when the sheet is actually manufactured, that is embedded all the way through. It is not a coating. It is not a paint. There are some folks out there that are selling a product that is a paint or just a layer that's applied to one side. This is all the way through the plastic. And you can tell, it doesn't really show on camera as easily, but there's a depth to this. If this was just a coating or a paint or something like that, it wouldn't have that depth. You can see multiple layers of glitter as you look at this, which gives it a really rich, shiny, eye-catching look to it that I think is very unique to this product and not a look you're going to get in other places. So I have the last product. This is a very versatile building block. If you're making artwork, if you're making some holiday signs or a great gift piece, I'm going to talk about the LaserBits wood laminate that we have. We have a lot of different LaserBits wood products that we're going to show off 2 finishes specifically today. There's also a couple different thicknesses out there that are available. So I'm going to show this lovely hanging piece right here. It's white, so we're going to probably have to go to the camera, close-up camera in a second. So the product we're specifically talking about is this wood laminate right here. This has a very nice painted white top and has a good contrast when you laser engrave or vector cut through the material. And if you could put that on there, because I think it's going to show up much better there. And so the macrame and other pieces have been added. Like I said, this is a building block. This is something that you can use to add multiple other technologies to. It can be crafted into a lot of different signs. You can mount stuff to it with adhesive. Lot of flexibility there. Similar to that product, we have a wood laminate with a walnut finish as well. Again, all of this can be engraved and vector cut with a CO2 laser, anything from a hobby laser up to a professional size model. And I'll let you there as well. Those are mostly sold in a 12 by 24 size, a couple different thicknesses. I think most of them are 1/8 or 1/4. And she's going to show the edge there so that you can see, and that's the color that would be underneath if you were to raster engrave. So again, great building block. Think of taking that, turning it into a sign, turning it into a Christmas ornament, whatever it may be. So
we have a question, and I love these because it's a question about an engravable product that you don't have in front of you.
Is it one behind me?
No, it's not even behind you at the
okay.
moment. So we had a customer who said they use the one-sided sublimatable hardboard. They cut out items. They wanted to know if we have a 2-sided version of that.
Yes, I'm glad you asked. There is absolutely a 2-sided version of the hardboard available on our website in gloss. So if you search hardboard, it should come right up. Or I know that because I've done this before, if you search 2-sided, I believe it's one of the first hits on jbplus.com in that search box. So it is available. So if you need something that's 2-sided or at the very minimum doesn't have that dark wood texture on the back, you just want the plain white, good option for that. Any other questions, George?
Yeah, well, one more time, and I think we covered this earlier, but we had some people joining in to the webinars we've been going. People love that number 2 on the glitter sheet. And again, there was a question about how that was done. That was heat transfer, which you could use other processes, correct? Like a vinyl or whatever you want if you have a UV LED printer.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
So
various
yeah,
ways.
so that was done with a iColor printer using the hard surface paper. We actually have a video on that. George, can you remind me, was that a webinar or a YouTube video?
that's on our YouTube channel. There's actually a video that Steve did where he shows us shows you how to do the heat transfer
Yep.
onto acrylic. It's great how-to if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one method. If you don't have that, but you're looking, how can I get similar results? And I've got a couple people doing this with the glitter. If you have any sort of vinyl cutter, hobby vinyl cutter, you can also apply vinyl to that so that you can have, you know, a graphic or letter or number that's applied to the front too.
I had a question, Evan. Somebody would like to see the back of the wood laminate there next to your right hand. That's the one.
Okay. Absolutely. So pretty standard MDF back there. It's definitely lighter than the front. So you do have some contrast if you wanted to have some lettering or something like that that engraves all the way through. Hopefully that helps. We'll take another moment just to see if there's any other questions that we want to make sure we cover.
So now our Eagle Eye customers, this is my favorite part of the webinar, where they start seeing things behind you guys, want to know
I love
if
it.
any of that's been engraved. And there was a question, somebody asked if any of the items behind you were engraved, and I believe the Meet Me Under the Mistletoe was one that has been laser marked. Is that correct?
This is correct. Yep.
Yep, that one has been lasered. Actually, am I going to ruin the wreath? Leave it.
Everybody looks at
Come on.
Caitlin. Make sure that you don't destroy the backing.
Listen, Caitlin did an amazing job on decorating, and if this comes crashing down during a live webinar, it's not going to be fun. This is lasered, by the way.
And the other question is that is part of our, I believe it's part of our home decor line.
This is part of our home decor line. This white piece is removable, and so that can go into your laser from there and then mount it back inside the spring.
So this ornament is also
gonna set this
going
down.
to be laser engravable as well. Also able to be heat transferred. These have been extremely popular this year, and these also come in 5 different options. So buffalo plaid amongst a few other options. And again, they come in packs of 6. So these are a great option for you.
So another question we had, Evan, about the saddle collection. When you pointed to your right, you showed some items.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted to know what the boxes were. They're right there. So, and you can't quite see what's open in there. Oh, now we're giving away our post-webinar treat that we always have, but that's okay.
I'm going to go ahead and go over here toward the close-up so you can see. So this is saddle collection, and we'll have a look at what's inside. I'm going to cover the label. I don't know if that's an issue. This is a wine gift set that is completely covered in saddle collection so that you can customize it, personalize it any way that you want. You have all the necessary tools for getting into the beverage and enjoying the beverage. So this makes an amazing gift. This has a very premium feel to it. It has this heavy padding inside to keep the bottle and the tools safe and secured in there. And when marked, you get something like this. You get a very dark brown, almost black marking when it's engraved with laser. So that is one of the saddle pieces. What do you think, George? Do we have more saddle stuff to show or any other questions on it?
There was someone who wanted to see the orangey left, so I'm going to hand you this one.
Chestnut.
Chestnut, to see what the color of that looked like.
Yeah. That's chestnut. That is probably our most requested color. The other colors get a lot of attention as well, but I would say that chestnut has that really warm, reddish kind of look to it that really stands out.
Oh, and someone wanted to see real quick the happy birthday sign. I know we showed that in the very beginning, the little
Oh, that
cake
happy
topper, which is kind of a cool item. And if you, while you have that up there, while that camera's up, if you could show the little Christmas tree ornaments.
I'll let you show those, but.
And again, the color on top here is going to be the diamond. the jade there on the back. And then the happy birthday was in the ruby.
And if you want to see how those were put together, it's actually 2 pieces. And then easiest way to do that, we actually just took and applied adhesive to the back of the diamond sheet, which when you place your orders for sheet on jbplus.com, most of those products have the option to have an adhesive backing added before it leaves the factory or leaves the warehouse and everything and heads out to you. At that point, you have adhesive on every surface. So see how skinny those ends are? There was adhesive applied to the whole sheet, so you have to sit there and painstakingly put glue or something like that. The adhesive is already there. I see some running around. I assume we must have some more. You guys must be picking out more stuff behind us that you want to see on camera.
Yes,
There's
we
a
had
flurry of
a
activity.
question about tumblers, and I'm trying to find, oh, Madeline found them. I knew they were back there somewhere. The skinny tumblers for engraving. Somebody asked about engraving drinkware.
Yeah, so I did see that we had quite a few people on today that had larger professional lasers that may have the rotary attachment. So these are our simply 20-ounce skinny tumblers for engraving. It will be best to do this with your rotary attachment so you can get all the way around the cup. They have a gorgeous coating on them, and they come with a metal straw, which is one of my favorite aspects of them, is the metal straw.
Yep, and we have various colors. So this is gonna be our royal blue. This is our black.
Yep, there's another shade of blue, seafoam, I think, and then white. Okay, also, another option worth mentioning, these 2 are in the Ceramasteel line, a little bit different line of engravable drinkware. This is a stemless wine glass that engraves beautifully. Also Ceramasteel line, insulated. This is just a regular stainless steel finish designed to have Surmark applied to it so that you get a nice black marking in your laser. Can I show at least on there? Oh, looky there, we have Surmark too.
And if anyone's curious on how to use Surmark, there was a guy who did a video on our YouTube channel, correct, Evan?
Yeah, so there's actually, well, I think that might have been a webinar actually, but I
Right.
know that I actually did a webinar or video on the Surmark Ultra Spray. This stuff is designed to be applied to things like metal drinkware, ceramics, glass, stone, all kinds of different things. You spray that on there, and then you laser your pattern onto it, and it actually adheres this on there in the form of a black permanent marking on top of that. So if you want to see more about how that process works, if you are on the JP Plus webinars page, search back there a little ways. There's definitely one on Surmark Ultra in there.
Absolutely. And it's a good chance, again, if I can plug our YouTube channel, we have a lot of how-to videos. The heat transfer on the acrylic, there's a great video that Allison did showing using sublimation and engraving as a complementary piece. So be sure to check that out. And, there's a lot of things that you can pick up as you're heading into the holiday season.
Absolutely. What else? This has been an active chat. I
Yeah.
like it. Any other questions, George?
Nope, I'm checking one more time here. We'll let you do your wrap up and we'll see if we'll give everybody another chance to come in with some last minute questions.
Can you advance the slide? I think there's a slide that we need here.
I can, give me 1 second.
Did you wear your Fitbit today, George? You've been sprinting.
People wonder why I go and take a nap after the webinar. Sometimes that is,
That's why they finally put his door back on his office.
Oh, that's
Right.
good. That's good.
so,
All right. So quick word about JPP rewards. If you haven't checked it out yet, you definitely want to do that. jpplus.com/rewards is where you can sign up, or make sure you already are signed up. This is a great way to earn rewards on your purchases that you're making on our website. So as you buy, you earn rewards that you can later redeem in your cart towards more products. Gives you a chance to, try out something new, experiment a little bit. And that's really just our way of saying thank you for choosing us to supply your business and give you something back that you can keep those products coming. Courtney, do you want to talk about social media?
This is one of my favorite things. So we are on various different types of social media, from Facebook to Instagram. LinkedIn, and then recently we even added TikTok. So if you have not saw us on TikTok, please look through it. There's some of your favorite Johnson Plastic stars on there. Even Steven Stallard.
Even Steve Stallard was featured in a video or two. We've got a lot of content on there right now on sublimation. We've got a lot more content coming on other technologies too. So definitely go give us a follow on there. It's definitely a little bit more, it's a good balance between some lighthearted stuff and also some instructional videos that will kind of show you what this technology can do for you.
And also good first looks. Good
Awesome.
first looks at some products.
Great first looks at new products. That's a good way to get your news about what products have recently dropped. Questions? Do we have any more from the chat today, George?
I think we are good. So thank you to everyone. We still have some folks behind the scenes who are answering a few more questions, but I think we're good. So thank you for all of your participation today.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I hope you found this informative. I hope you found it helpful. Please reach out. Our contact information is on the screen for you, for myself and Courtney. Definitely let us know if you have follow-up questions about this. All of the products that you saw today are on jpplus.com, and we hope that you get all what you need so that you can have an amazing gift-giving season and making some of these great products. Thanks for joining.
Thanks.